So, this is Sarah, and I think that for this video I'm going to talk a little bit about bees. And I have a bee. This is Big B. Bees. At some point in mid-October, which was over a month ago now from where I'm sitting, we went on our annual trip to Gilcrease Orchard. The outskirts of Las Vegas actually somehow has a gigantic plot of farmland where you can go and get freshly grown fruits and vegetables and other things. I think year-round, but it is very popular during the harvest season, so a lot of people go there to get pumpkins. As you do. And we've been trying to make it an annual ritual to go to Gilcrease Orchard and pick out pumpkins from their big, cool pumpkin patch. But, It seems like the last couple of times we've tried, something has happened that's prevented us from being able to do so, either scheduling-wise or in the case of this year, we went on a Saturday and there happened to be a big private event going on that was sold out. We couldn't get in and we couldn't pick out our pumpkins. And like the pumpkin choosing ritual is very important around here for all of us. Pumpkins protect you during the fall from dark spirits, so you have to have a lot of pumpkins around. So instead of going to the orchard to pick out our pumpkins, we didn't want to go home because that's kind of a buzzkill. We drove down to IKEA. IKEA is kind of in the same, outskirts sort of vicinity as the orchard. So we went to go look at furniture and just kind of get ideas for things for around the house because fall is nesting season. Like 2 seconds after we walked into IKEA, kind of like how I saw my big yellow chair, at the seasonal display, which was front and center, there were a bunch of these stuffed bees hanging down above the furniture and stuff. And I got really excited because I like bees. Bees are cool. Now that we, have a garden that we take care of kind of full time. Bees are, the celebrities, because without the bees, stuff doesn't get pollinated. And if stuff doesn't get pollinated, then you don't have any fruit and veg. I got all emotional over the big bees that were hanging down from the ceiling. My bestie, who was with us on this adventure, he found the bee bin that was on the other side of the display where you could, pick out a bee of your own. And he chose this particular bee, which we now refer to as Big B. And Big B walked around the store with us for that whole shopping trip. Big B is kind of the mascot of the season right now. Since it is going into winter and the world is precisely as it is right now, me and my family, my friends, have retreated into some of our nesting games, which we play kind of seasonally, I would say. Games like Minecraft, Terraria, Stardew Valley, they're games that you play in the fall and winter because they involve gathering and building dwelling spaces to protect yourself from the elements and from dangers that are outside.
I live here now.
I think that this kind of scratches some primal itch that we have.
Making bread?
She's making bread in my lap.
You gotta pet her. She wants you to pet her.
Oh,
That's why she's gonna leave.
Oh God, no.
Oh God.
So right now for Mark and Matt, it's playing Minecraft.
Now I can make them like me.
Bear's over there.
I think
Bees.
it's this one.
Bees. Bees! They're your friends.
Oh! They made a bee! They made the parrots and the bees. Look, it's a baby bee!
You have friends.
And for me, World of Warcraft. So WoW is a game I enjoy coming back to because they keep adding content to it, so even though the world is expanding, it still has the same vibe no matter what. When you return to it, it's kind of like hearing an old favorite song again after many years. It just takes you right back to that feeling. So I'm not actually doing any fighting or conquesting this time around. Instead, if you raise your reputation with this beehive, like it's called the honeyback beehive, and it's a literal hive of bees, and if you take care of them and protect them enough, eventually one of them will become like your companion that you can ride around on. Bees are cool. So the way that you do this, however, is you have to adventure around in the environment and collect honey that you see on the ground, like little honeycombs, and you click on them and get like between 1 and 5 stacks of thin jelly. It's like runny honey. And after you get like upwards of 4,000 of these honey items in the game and give them to your bee, it slowly grows up to the size that it is considered rideable, and then it becomes your mount. However, finding the 4,000 nodes of honey takes a lot of time. So that has become part of my evening meditation since I started playing again. I just kind of mentally check out and fly around in flight form, which for me as a druid is being a moth, of course, because I raise moths. And I hunt for honey to feed my bee, as you do, which has been actually pretty enjoyable. As really simple and like uninvolved as that sounds, it's exactly what I needed right now. The added thing about this that I wanted to say in this video, because I think it's a cool, interesting fact. So I take care of hornworms, which become hawk moths. And one of the more notable types of hawk moth is called the death's head hawk moth. So Big B has a friend. I have a Mothy. I got this at the game store the other week. So Big B's bestie is Mothy. It is a death's head hawk moth, but they actually have a little marking on their back that kind of looks like a human skull, which is where they get their namesake from, obviously. One of the other notable qualities or features or abilities of the death's head hawk moth is that it squeaks. They squeak, but they don't have a voice box. Moths have a proboscis. Like, they don't actually have mouths or teeth or anything like that. It's literally just a straw apparatus that unfurls, and they can sip nectar with it. But the reason why the hawk moths can squeak is because they took a liking to honey, if they found it, but it took some throat strength to be able to sip viscous honey up through a tiny little thin straw, to get it into their face. So they evolved over time a stronger tube system inside of them in order to do this, and that same strength that they evolved by drinking honey allows them to chirp. So the chirping that you hear moths make is specifically because some moths over time, the ones that survived, took a liking to honey. In WoW, I am literally a moth hunting for honey and feeding it to my little bee friend so that bee can be my companion in the game that I'm playing right now to get through winter. So bee and moth are besties in the escapism that is Sarah's life right now. That's what I wanted to say. So this winter has been about bees. Mark wants to get bees for our yard.
What have you done, Mark?
I bought a hotel for bees, apparently.
Bees.
So these bees will be charged no rent. They can just live here in this communist thing we call a bee hotel.
How will they know that they belong there, Mark?
There's holes.
Like a beehive and be a beekeeper because we have the garden and it makes sense to do so.
Bees like holes, so they fly around until they find a hole, and then they start laying eggs in these holes, and just like in the movie Alien, they come out and they pollinate tomatoes. I don't think that happened in Alien.
I still kind of have a fear of them.
I let the bees know that they are welcome here with this
Bee.
classic piece of artwork that's only missing one thing, and we're going to fix it right now.
And I don't want the greenhouse to become a place that I'm afraid to go to because it's kind of my sanctuary right now. I don't know if I can get over that fear. It will be something we investigate next year going into the spring season.
Bees.
So maybe bees. I'm gonna go back to drawing and doing seed stuff, which is also what I'm doing right now. Until my next video. Oh yeah. Keep making awesome stuff out there, and thank you for watching.